Letters of John Nelson Darby, Volume 1, Letter 242E, of 1031. p. 397. Dearest W. Kelly, I had forgotten your enterprise, see note, and am frightened when I see the extent of the publications. I should think some of the notes would require some revising, but I have no objection to them if they are useful being printed as notes. Even the sermons contain things I should not accept. They were first published with a notice that I had not revised them. Some of the earlier publications would require a note or two, where clearer light was acquired, but had better not be altered. I ought to have somewhere a copy of my letter to the Archbishop. I forget it. But his course was ruinous, really stopped the deliverance from popery of masses, perhaps of all in Ireland. They were leaving from 700 to 800 a week. He required the oath of supremacy and abjuration, it stopped as by a shot. Note, collected writings. End of note. As to Nu Iota Kappa Nu Kappa Alpha Tau Eta Rho Nu, Revelation 2 verse 26, it is difficult to answer for grammar in the Apocalypse, but they have only to be viewed as separate in idea here, and this is, I apprehend, intended. Nu Iota Kappa Nu is the general character in every church. Here, another special character is spoken of by itself as a distinct thing, though therein he may overcome. We have once Nu Iota Kappa Nu without. As to Lambda Theta Epsilon Iota Alpha, 1 John 5 verse 6, I have no difficulty, because it is only what the Spirit says which is truth. All he says is truth, and only what he says is truth. Just as Christ is Lambda Theta Epsilon Iota Alpha in John 14, so, as a witness, is the Spirit. Here we are getting on pretty well, a good many have been added everywhere, and new meetings in birth. Our general meeting at Toronto was delicious. One who may be very useful, got his soul all cleared, or rather filled with truth, at our meetings. He told me he saw plainly that what brethren taught was the recovery of Paul's doctrine. So it really is. I am daily more convinced that evangelicalism with partial truth is the abandonment of what Paul taught. I feel far more deeply the ground on which I am than ever. The Lord be praised for his goodness to you and Mrs. He is always good and full of goodness. Ever affectionately yours. Delicious weather, with a good deal of snow, 38 degrees of frost this morning, but I opened my window when getting up to enjoy it. For 16 or 20 degrees I do not put on my gloves, when there is no wind. Toronto, 1865. 51242E.